Lions just recovered a fumble.
Bits of wisdom.
It's Harry Houdini, I'm pretty sure.
That's when it kind of becomes Home Improvement After Dark.
I guess that leaves us at the question of the week.
Very good. I don't know if you noticed, Jordan, but a really cool aerial shot of the table. Reasonably funny.
User review.
Does everybody know what time it is?
Home and podcast time.
That's right, a company that enjoys tea time with Binford Tools is proud to present a home improvement podcast. My name is Adam, and I'm joined by my co-host, Jordan. Jordan, somber news this morning, and I'm not talking about the IMDb message boards.
No, I am, usually Friday is a joyous occasion for us. We do a great recording on a wonderful home improvement episode, but this one's got me all sorts of sad.
Usually I wake up and I say to myself, TGIF. And today I did do that, and then we get on the mic here in our various studios, and you tell me that Tim Allen's Last Man Standing has been canceled at ABC.
Somber news indeed.
And I thought you meant Last Man on Earth, and I was talking about that.
Then you were very confused about why Will Forte would be.
Yeah, I thought I was talking about Will Forte and Last Man on Earth, and boy, I wondered why you were telling me this. Confusion.
That just shows like how unlikely it was in your mind that the show would be canceled.
It really was very, very surprising to me. We have just the smallest amount of news. Per The Hollywood Reporter, which we view as being more legitimate than a lot of websites that were reporting this. I'll just read an excerpt here. Fridays are hard, but Last Man Standing has triumphed where all other comedies failed. The multi-camera sitcom and ABC Homecoming from Home Improvement star Tim Allen averaged a 1.7 rating among adults 18 to 49 and an even more impressive 8.3 million viewers. That is a ton of viewers because, Mad Men got like 1 to 2 million viewers.
I know.
Week.
I think I read that ABC's best comedy, Modern Family, gets like 8.7. So if you're on like a Friday and still getting ratings like that,
Friday night viewing, Friday night show getting 8.3 million. Reasons why. Another year means a 7th season for the show, and that's a magic number for renegotiations and broadcasts, so apparently they were going to have to up the ante on all the salaries. The fact that it successfully segued into syndication during the 2016-17 season is certainly another feather in its cap, but that does little for ABC. The show is produced and owned by 20th Century Fox Television, so apparently it was solely a monetary thing, like it was going to cost them a lot of money to negotiate with 20th Century.
Money is the root of all evil.
Yeah, well, that is pretty wild. I mean, I've never watched a full episode.
Yeah, it's hard for us to say too much about it, but, as Tim Allen goes, we go. So
I only want the best for Tim. It wasn't my kind of humor per se, but apparently it was 8.3 million people's kind of humor. I think it was... the only thing I've ever really seen of it is, like, the clips of old Home Improvement people showing up on it,
So maybe not a great sample size of what the show's about.
I suppose not. But I know. I feel like it had made headlines relatively recently because they had that episode where like Tim went on a tirade about like outrage culture and like little snowflakes and people getting triggered by things. And I think that maybe was provocative, and I think they had people talking. But as you said, money makes the world turn. So.
Yep, and it turned its back on Tim Allen today. So
on a more positive note, he may not have a television show right now, but he does have.
He's always got a place here.
Yeah. Also, Jordan, he has quite a bit of wisdom to impart on us. So let's go ahead and cue those grunts.
Sure, it's all saved to me. Oh. Ah! Oh no. Oh, yeah.
Now it's time for Bits of Wisdom. This week's bit of wisdom comes from www.brainyquote.com. Electricity can be dangerous. My nephew tried to stick a penny into a plug. Whoever said a penny doesn't go far didn't see him shoot across that floor. I told him he was grounded. This has been your bit of wisdom.
That poor nephew.
Wow, what do you make of that?
Sounds like that nephew might be dead. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lesson there.
Is there? Don't stick a penny into a socket, I suppose.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, they think, like, well, should I? Shouldn't I? What will happen? Well, now you know. So, thanks,
so don't
Tim.
do it.
Did I say, this has been your bit of wisdom? Keep forgetting to do that.
Yeah, you got to bookend this thing.
Rusty.
Otherwise, we'll never know when to start the actual episode.
Yeah, we'll just linger on an analysis of it. Electricity.
Right.
His nephew tried to stick up. Whoever said it doesn't go far. Wow. I told him he was grounded. Boy, insult to injury, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if he was grounded, he wouldn't have been electrocuted. Bump.
Yeah, if he was grounded, he wouldn't have been able to shoot across the floor either. You know, I think it's a play on words.
You think so?
Yeah, I have a suspicion. What are we covering this week?
Oh, man. Episode 45. Man, we're getting close to 50. We're getting close to our year anniversary as well, but we'll talk about that later, too. Mm-hmm. Episode 45 is going to be Much Ado About Nana. This one was written by Howard J. Morris. Last wrote Where There's a Will, There's a Way, which was a cheery episode if there ever was one.
He likes the sentimental bits. You know, he likes to talk about family and mortality. A lot like us.
Yeah, definitely. That's our number one. Aired March 17th, 1993.
St. Patrick's Day up.
St. Patrick's Day. They seem to do a St. Patrick's Day episode.
We've said that before. This was 4 days before my birthday, so I wondered if I was like 3 watching this.
Probably not.
Who can I reach out to on that? I guess my parents.
Your mother?
I don't know. She wouldn't know.
She's feisty nowadays. Well, I guess the title reference is the Shakespearean play Much Ado About Nothing.
Wait a minute. Keep going.
Shocking news to everyone. And plot keywords. We've got a couple of good ones here. Okay. So buckle up. So the first one is window smashing.
Yeah.
Second one is grandmother.
Yeah.
Which I don't think they mention at all during the thing, really. But the third one is gift.
Why isn't mother-in-law one? Grandmother
I don't know.
Doesn't fit nearly as well. Can you check in on...
The window smashing?
Window smashing, I guess, is the most interesting, yeah.
Yeah. A gift could be anything, really. Window smashing, number 1 on the list, Chronicles of Narnia, Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Never seen it. Next.
Aww. Let's see.
I'm not into that nerd. I'm sorry. Wait, really using my swears effectively.
Boy, that really escalated quickly.
Yeah, keep going.
Man, I'm scrolling through this list. I don't think a lot of these.
What's 2 and 3?
2 is The Towering Inferno from 1974. Everyone's favorite film.
I'm familiar.
And then the third one, It's a Wonderful Life.
Who smashes a window in It's a Wonderful Life?
I don't know. I've only seen that once.
Probably George Bailey. It's probably that curmudgeon that lives in the town and is George Bailey's foe. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. Jimmy Stewart.
It's probably that like store owner that he works for that kills a kid or whatever.
Have you seen it?
Have you seen it?
I think you're confusing It's a Wonderful Life with Cheaper by the Dozen 2.
The old one or the new one?
The new one.
It does have Tom Welling in it, right?
Yeah.
Former Smallville star?
Yeah, man. Smallville's so bad. I can't believe you ever liked that.
You're going to have to take that up with Dave, because he liked it too.
I'll take it up with any... It's the worst. It's the worst show. It's so bad. I've never liked anything as bad as Smallville.
We were talking about shows that we liked and that were on when we were younger, and for some reason Family Guy was on all the time.
I don't like that either. Smallville, very bad.
Very bad. I don't know. It had Jonathan Taylor Thomas on it. Could it be that bad?
Who did he play?
He played a villain in one episode. And then he made a reappearance later when all the villains got together.
Ooh, kind of a
plan coming together. I know you like those.
I love watching a plan come together. I don't know about an evil plan, though. Not as much. It's only, I like to have people I can root for.
Well,
I suppose we can root for Nana in this episode, don't you think, Jordan?
We're going to try. First, let's get into the plot synopsis, written by Tony Topola. So, on Tool Time, Tim and Al are building a deck. Surprisingly, there is no catastrophe.
Yeah, I got something to say about that.
At home, Tim's mother-in-law comes for a visit from Texas. To everyone's surprise, she is no longer super fat. In fact, she's slim. Since Jill's parents are moving to a new condo, her mother has decided to give some items to her daughters. Jill wishes for their antique wooden clock, but her mother has chosen a tea set for her. Jill is unable to tell her mother about how she feels about the clock, and Tim fails to understand what's the problem. So thank you, Tony, for that lengthy and thorough plot synopsis. Should we do alternative titles?
Gotta level with you. Forgot to do it, but I can come up with some off the cuff.
All right, I guess I can go first if you'd like.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, so the first one I have, I will admit these are probably the worst out of the 3 episodes that we've done so far. Just a tough one to come up with. But first one I've got is Nana Nana Boo Boo.
That's pretty good.
It's the playground taunt that we all used to do.
Good.
And the other one that I have is Texas Teacup Massacre.
Those are, I would say, your best.
Well, maybe
I'm just more forgiving because I don't have any.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to need about 30 seconds to think of a couple, so we're just going to have to edit this part out.
All right, let's do that.
All right, and we're back. Jordan, how long did I take? Full disclosure.
I don't know. I zoned out for a while, so...
About a minute?
Yeah, I don't know.
I just want to have an excuse for how it didn't take me very much time to come up with these, so that's why they're
I think you did it quicker than I expected.
All right, okay. So yours were Nana Nana Boo Boo and then the Texas Teacup Massacre?
That's right.
All right, mine are so bad, but, okay. They don't even really make sense. First one, the Colonel's Recipe for Sadness.
I like that.
All right. And then this is not a very good one. My Mother, My Selfishness.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like that you've got a playful one and then, something more down to earth.
Yeah.
Brings us back down.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's kind of you in a nutshell.
In what sense?
You're playful, but then sometimes you just bring us back to reality,
Yeah, I'm just kind of the sad clown figure. All right, so alternate titles, synopsis. I think we're ready to get into it. We open on Tool Time. 3rd episode in a row, I think we've seen this. It seems like it's kind of becoming the new norm. We see that prima donna logo fly in right away, kind of steal the show temporarily, and then disappear.
But Tim rejects it.
Yeah, he kicks
it right out with a piece of wood.
Is that what happens? He hits it with wood and it goes away?
Yeah, it's a gentle hit, but the logo gets out.
I saw it come and I saw it go, but I didn't really... the implications of it, I didn't pay much attention to. I was really honed in on Tim, but a really good performance by the logo.
Yeah, Tim was probably mad at the logo because, like you said, it is a prima donna. It changed colors. It's not blue this time, it's red. Trying to get more attention.
Usually that is like a stipulation in the contract. You kind of have to maintain your look. Like if a professional football player gets below a certain weight, he can be in trouble, or above a certain weight. Logo changing his colors, not a good thing.
Bad luck.
Let me not go down that road any longer. So they're working on a deck. It's just they're working on a deck, essentially. There isn't much specificity.
There's a whole deck on stage. Can we talk about how they got that on there?
Really, I guess they manufactured it right there.
I suppose.
I mean, I guess they probably just pieced it together. I don't know. It doesn't... This whole opening scene, as Tony noted, it does one thing. It sets up one thing, but not in a very effective way. So they're working on the deck. Tim kind of begins to go into the mother-in-law weight jokes, and he says that I can make these this week, but no more next week, because he gives some reason. But Al says no more jokes because Nana is in fact coming to visit. So Tim gets a couple more parting shots in, and then Tim is just kind of walking around on the deck, and
he's stomping,
and he steps on a board. And then the can of sealant goes up in the air, and then Al coolly catches it, and that is it. So I was waiting for another can to fall from the rafters and hit Tim in the head, or Tim, you're waiting for something bigger, or something like a catastrophe to happen, but nothing does. It's kind of strange. It's the first time they've ever had the opportunity to not have some kind of a bit of visual humor, and they just have not taken it. So I don't know, it's strange.
Yeah, Howard was just trying to keep us on our toes, I guess.
Yeah, there was very low stakes opening. I was quite surprised.
But it does set up that Nana's coming to town, I suppose.
Nana is coming to town. Next scene, Jordan.
Yeah, we're at home. Jill is vacuuming. She's cleaning up a storm.
Frantic.
Brad and Randy. What?
She's frantic.
She's frantic because Nana's coming to town. So
this was exactly what my mom was like growing up.
She did the same thing?
Yeah, she would freak out whenever anyone was coming. She would go on a cleaning spree. She would get really what's the word?
Uptight?
uptight. She would just get very stressed out.
Out of sight.
And she would just be kind of angry until that person came, and then when the person finally arrived, it was actually just sweet solace because it meant no more cleaning and no more bad moods for my mom. But yeah, this reminded me of my youth quite a bit. Don't worry, my mom is not going to listen, so no problem.
Doesn't mean I'm not going to write her a strongly worded email with snippets that show what you're saying about her. But yeah, Andrea and I actually do this quite a bit when people are coming to visit, if we're hosting people for a cookout or her parents are coming or something. So I guess I can sympathize with that, but I don't go crazy. We just clean quickly. So
yeah.
But Tim comes home.
I've heard that you guys don't clean enough.
Yeah. Who's telling you that? I want names.
Boatman. The boatman. No, I don't have any name. I won't name names. I'm not like the character on Seinfeld. Continue on.
So Tim comes home. Brad and Randy are home. Jill is finishing up the cleaning and doesn't want anyone to touch anything. Can't get any fingerprints on the refrigerator. And Jill starts talking about how her mom's going to be coming in. And apparently Nana has a bad habit, so Jill thinks, of telling jokes. Not jokes, but embarrassing stories, I suppose, about Jill. And she wants Tim to not encourage her. She wants Tim to be silent and neutral. And he says, I'll be quiet. I'll be like Switzerland. And perhaps that should have been a plot keyword, because that is featured maybe 7 times in this episode.
Yeah, they do say it several times. Jill's relationship with her mother we'll certainly get into, but in this episode, okay, like the whole thing with Jill getting angry or upset when her mom shares embarrassing stories is like something you do when you're 15. It's like, Mom, shut up, you're embarrassing me. Jill's like 40. I mean,
she should be comfortable in her skin at this point.
Yeah, I would say so. Like, as soon as her mom gets there, she just like reverts back to like a 16-year-old. Mom, come on, you're embarrassing me. It's like, you're 40. If you can't handle stories about like your pudgy knees or like early dating, like, jeez, I think you've...
I guess it would be one thing if she was telling stories that undermined her, like they were stories about her like smoking pot or something, and then she didn't want her kids to be exposed to that. Yeah. But that's not what they are at all. It's like like you said, first dates and
they're just like
stuff.
Funny family stories or stories about her growing up. Yeah.
So Jill needs to stop taking herself so seriously. Yeah. That's what we're saying, right?
I am
so
saying
Mark
that.
Yeah, Mark comes down, and it's going to be his birthday soon, so he's wondering what Nana will get him for his birthday.
Selfish.
Yeah, he doesn't care at all about really grandma's coming to visit. He's just like, what am I going to get? I need presents. Yeah. And Mark is going to get some balloons and a piñata per Jill's orders for his birthday, and we learn that he's turning 8. But Tim doesn't think this is going to be very fun. Mm-hmm. Piñatas are so yesteryear that he wants to do an indie race car B-Day party. Mm-hmm. So, do you remember any like themed birthday parties or birthday parties that you had as a kid?
Yeah, I remember birthday parties. I didn't ever have a theme like that per se, but I'd have birthdays.
Did you go anywhere?
No, but I would have like a bunch of like buddies like ride the bus home with me. That whole thing. Cool. Ride the bus home, and then it would they'd like stay the night on Friday or something, and we'd like hang out and eat pancakes or whatever. I remember doing that quite a few years, like having guys come home. We would like maybe we'd go do stuff, but nothing comes to mind. But yeah, a lot of sleepovers for birthdays. It was good,
sounds
good
like
fun.
I missed a lot from not being your friend when we were
younger. We weren't friends when I was doing the birthday sleepovers. But
too bad. Yeah. I seem to remember a couple times. I think most kids, maybe not most kids, a lot of kids go to McDonald's for a birthday. Like that seems to be a place to go. And I think Playscapes were kind of popular at that time. I remember going to the Discovery Zone.
Yeah, I definitely did that. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely had that one year.
That was pretty popular. That was pretty popular until they got shut down for food violations, health code violations on their pizza.
I do remember they had a sweet laser tag, like Men in Black laser tag area.
Yeah, they did. That was sweet. That place was cool. I remember it being cool. It was like I don't know if it's national. I would have to assume. I don't know. Maybe not. But like it's like a Chuck E. Cheese, but minus the animatronic rodents.
Just all the good stuff.
Yeah, and it was just cool. Same ball pit kind of stuff or whatever. But the laser tag was
obstacle
sweet.
Courses and stuff like that.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, that was fun. And then I think as I got older, I did a lot more of kind of like you said, just people came over. Yeah. A lot of like playing basketball, having homemade food, cakes,
Yeah,
and all that
outside
stuff.
kind of stuff more so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to go to Taco Bell a lot for my birthday when I was really little.
Taco Bell,
Yeah,
yum.
man. Yeah, man. Pretty good.
Yeah, so I thought this was a nice moment. They're talking about the birthday party stuff. They all do grunting as
They
a
grunt
family.
as a family. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, this episode's all about family, so that seemed only right.
Yeah, it's
So-
like the Fast and the Furious movies. It's all about family.
And
Or the Olive Garden.
or Guardians of the Galaxy. So this grunt fest is broken up by a doorbell, and everything goes instantly to DEFCON 1. Everything, there's like a scramble to put everything away. Tim gets in some last jokes before Nana comes in, and Nana comes in and she looks great. She's lost a ton of weight. Tim can no longer make fat jokes about her because from the sounds of it, she probably lost like 200 pounds.
They make it sound like she must have lost 600 or 700 pounds even. I didn't really ever think Nana was fat. I don't know. That never was like, I assumed he just made those jokes to make those jokes. I never actually thought Nana was morbidly obese, but I guess we were supposed to.
Turns out she was.
Yeah, I guess so.
So she just had some of that Texas home cooking every day.
What does Jill say? Steak and no. Later on in the episode, she says like what we used to eat, like steak and gravy or something.
Oh, it was like country fried steak.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah, disgusting. So Nana's there, and immediately Jill and Nana come to sit down on the couch, and
Nana's classy. She looks like
very
like a
classy.
European heiress or something. She kind of like she has like a scarf on and like a full like. I don't know what you.
She's
not,
got a.
It's not a pantsuit.
She's got her
but
groove.
She looks classy. Yeah.
She's got a groove. And Jill starts telling her about how busy her day is with work and the kids, and Nana has no sympathy.
Hey,
Nana
guess
just
what?
says,
Neither
"Buck
do
up."
I, you know.
Yeah. Because she's immediately putting on a show here.
Yeah. The second that like Jill's like, it's just so hard with my job and kids. It's like, yeah, welcome to like everybody's world. You know, like every working
buck
mom
up,
in the world.
Jill.
Yeah, seriously. Nana does not fall for that trap, and I was happy with Nana. I was rooting for Nana on this one.
Yeah, I was rooting too. Nana also gets tool time in Texas. Apparently,
You gotta explain that one to me. She says that she lost the weight because of all the Nana jokes Tim made on air, and she says that they have a satellite dish, so they get it. How would that work?
It wouldn't work, and I don't have a way to explain it.
It wouldn't. That's not possible because we assume it's like public access, so no satellite dish.
She's getting torrents on the internet of Tool Time. That's how she's getting the show.
Like a sling box or something. You know?
So yeah, they bought a satellite dish. Apparently, all the neighbors come over to watch, but she makes sure to say that Al is her son.
Is We Bought a Satellite Dish a sequel to We Bought a Zoo? Keep going.
I'm just going to skip over that and say that there's no colonel. The husband does not arrive. Apparently, he has a speech at the officers club.
I love that they call this dude
Him the colonel?
like a lot. Like, and it's like serious, not like whatever.
It's not like KFC.
Yeah, well, it's just like the colonel. Like she called whatever her name is, Nana. She calls him the colonel.
Whatever her name is.
She calls him the colonel like a lot, and it's just like real funny to me. Like it's just very formal. I guess that they're a military family.
Yeah. And Nana, aside from us rooting for her, she also spits fire, kind of like Randy at some points, because she starts talking about the diet she's on, and then she not so subtly hints that she could give Jill the diet if she wants. So apparently she still thinks that Jill's a little pudgy.
Classic mom bits. I'm going to do a bio for Nana. This is a very long scene. We should also know. It really goes on a long time. It's almost like 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
Nana's played by Polly Holliday, which Hall of Fame name right there. Polly Holliday. I mean, that's just that's something out of a
better than Boatman.
Out of a Cary Grant movie itself. Yeah, it is a lot better than Boatman. Polly Holliday. 5 episodes of Home Improvement over the run, so we'll see her 4 more times. I feel like we see her a lot more in my memory, but
she's just memorable.
She's very memorable. She's in films such as The Parent Trap, Mrs. Doubtfire, one of my favorites, Gremlins, and All the President's Men. She did 90 episodes of a show called Alice, which I had not heard of, and she won 2 Golden Globes for the role.
Polly, get after it.
Of Flo Castleberry. She won 2 Golden Globes, and she was nominated 4 times. She was also nominated for a slew of Emmys. Character was apparently so popular that they spun it off into a show called Flo, which did not last as long. 29 episodes for that, but she was in 90 episodes of Alice, so must have been a very, very strong performance to have been awarded so many times.
Any Alice fans that are listening, we'd love to hear your experiences.
Yeah,
with,
it just looked like a
Alice
70s
show.
era kind of show that, I had never heard of it, and, I am generally familiar with such things. But, I like Polly Holiday.
Yeah, you know about all the 70s shows.
I would say that I do. The majority,
we did
of
talk
them.
about the Jeffersons, didn't we?
I'm very knowledgeable on television, Jordan. She reminds me of the woman. I guess I'm trying to think. She reminds me of the woman who plays the secretary in Liar Liar.
Yes.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yes, I don't know her name, but
I'm looking
yeah,
up
she
right
definitely.
now. Liar Liar. You keep talking.
All right, so the boys come down. She orders them around kind of like little soldiers. So she has them all line up and they're all saluting and standing at attention, all that kind of stuff. But really, she's a sweetheart and she starts hugging them and they talk about... She has something to say for every little kid. And she asks if Brad is dating anyone. And Jill says that Brad is too young to date. And I'm wondering what happened to all of the Jennifer Sadarsky dating. Was that not real? Or...
Yeah, all of a sudden Jill says he's too young to date as if he doesn't have a girlfriend.
I don't know.
All right, I found this woman. Her name is Anne Haney. And she also was in Mrs. Doubtfire. That's
I do remember her being in there.
Yeah, she's like the woman who goes and investigates Mrs. Doubtfire. Or, no, goes and investigates, I don't know, Robin Williams, but there's a scene where the shaving cream plops into her tea and she drinks it, and I remember thinking that was, like, disgusting. They remind me so much of each other, these two women, for whatever reason.
Maybe they're sisters.
They are not. Keep going, though.
Soul sisters, maybe. So, Nana, we should also say Nana's name is Lillian.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either, and it's mentioned a couple times throughout the episode, but... She tells the story of Jill's first date, so she's doing exactly what Jill doesn't want her to do.
Shut up! I hate you! I'm going to my room!
Jill was so nervous that she used insect repellent instead of deodorant.
That's so embarrassing.
That's really embarrassing. Nana also brought candy and has presents in the car because she's the best grandma ever. Mm-hmm. And she talks about how the family is downsizing. They're moving into a condo, so they're getting rid of some stuff, and they want to bring some certain mementos to their kids. So she has a gift for Jill in the car as well. And Nana makes another joke about basically, like, Tim says he wants to go get the stuff, but she says, no, I'll go get it because you'll break it. And
yeah, she's good at ribbing
Nana
Tim.
Is a firecracker.
She ribs Tim. She also says earlier that she tells all of her friends that Al is her son-in-law.
Yeah.
So she got him. I'll jump in just because this is such a long scene.
Sure.
So Nana goes out with the boys to get the presents, and she talks about the importance of the clock, how as a military family they would move quite often, but the clock served as a constant reminder, or perhaps just kind of made each place they moved to feel like home. One of those, like, presumably one of those grandfather clocks that chimes every 15 minutes. My grandma had one of those growing up, and it would drive me nuts. Like, it scared me because it was like old, and I think I saw like a scary Goosebumps about evil clocks or something. I don't know. But I had so much trouble sleeping when I was young. Like, I just like could not sleep. It was a real issue that like I would like lay in my grandma's like living room, and my parents would be in there as well. And the clock would go every 15 minutes. And it would like serve as a reminder of how long it was taking me to go to sleep, and I would sometimes cry. So,
wow,
yeah,
that's
bad memories of this clock.
Bad memories. Yeah. My grandma also had several of those clocks in her house, and I do remember a story in which my oldest brother, one of his friends, stayed the night with my oldest brother over there, and in the middle of the night, like, it kept going off, so he just woke up and unplugged all the clocks, and then when my grandma got up, she's like, what happened to all the clocks? And so yeah, you're not the only one who was annoyed by those clocks, I suppose.
Annoyed and scared.
Terrified, really.
Yeah, so Jill, the clock is important to Jill, essentially. They're setting up.
And they do a close-up of Jill during this. Like, did you know how they use the normal camera angles where they go back and forth, and they like really zoom in on her as she tells the story, trying to get emotional.
They do that whenever they want to convey emotion. Yeah, I suppose it's effective. I'm just, this whole episode, I just feel like Jill's pretty petulant, so it's hard for me to get on board necessarily. But the gifts come back in. they got Mark a drum set, or Nana got Mark a drum set, and
man,
that's gonna be trouble. That's a bad news bears. She brings in a box of things, and this would never happen. So in the box are apparently all the gifts she's giving to all the daughters. So the first thing that's pulled out,
she's going on a tour.
Yeah, the first thing that's pulled out is this clock, and Jill immediately assumes that it's for her, but come to find out, Nana instead is giving her a tea set, a chipped tea set at that, and Jill is pretty hurt. Nana, she gives it to her. There's not really much of a to do about it, and then she kind of leaves. But Jill's upset, and Tim, to his credit, he tries to be pretty understanding here. But Jill is she's not really having it. Tim wants to know, like, hey, why don't you just tell your mom that you're upset, or why don't you guys talk? And Jill says that her family does not discuss feelings. So
she gets more mad here than she does at really Tim in any of the episodes where she's mad at him.
Yeah, she's mad at Tim. Tim does nothing wrong in the whole episode. Not a thing.
Yeah. No. So later at home, Nana is making herself at home. She's putting the tea set away into the hutch that they have there. Jill is cooking for the upcoming birthday party, and she has everything just the way she wants it. And Nana starts doing things that she doesn't like. And really, at this point, Jill is testy with no matter what, anyone would do. But Tim goes as far to, like you said, he doesn't understand why she won't just tell him. So he's not so subtly hinting about the antique clock. So he says, it's so great that we have these teacups here, but we don't know when tea time is because we don't have a clock in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's a lot of jokes like that, and Jill does not like that at all.
Yeah, and they're not doing anything wrong. Like Nana's just trying to help out. Like she's not trying to take over anything. She's just trying to help. And Tim says something, and Jill says, "I don't remember anyone asking for your opinion." She is being unruly and unreasonable. It's a very short scene. That's it.
That's it. We're just supposed to see that Jill is more angry here.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it could have been in the last scene, but I think that the last scene was so long that they had to cut away for a bit. Next scene, we head to the fence.
Head to the fence, and we're gonna head to a clip.
Hi-ho, Tim.
Hi, Wilson.
Boy, you are just the man I want to see.
Yeah?
I've got a birthday present for Mark.
Oh, it's nice here, but I don't think I want to pierce his ears so early.
No, Tim. It's not an earring. It's a dream catcher. Children of the Chippewa Indians hang them in their window at night to catch the bad dreams. Then in the morning, the sunshine whisks the bad dreams away.
You got anything that'll whisk a mother-in-law away?
Nah problems, Tim.
Nah. It's Jill. She thinks her mom doesn't understand her, but she never tells her how she feels. So her mom doesn't really understand that she doesn't understand.
I understand.
What is it with women? Her mom brought gifts. She gave Jill a tea set and gave her sister Robin this clock. Well, Jill wants the clock. Why can't she just say, I want the clock?
Well, Tim, these are complicated things, and it has been a few years since I read My Mother myself, but
Whoa. Back the bookmobile up. You read a book called My Mother, Myself?
It was the 70s, Tim. It was an open time.
I remember the 70s. Mood rings, 8-track cassettes.
You see, Tim, once the baby girl comes out of the mother's womb, she spends the rest of her life trying to separate from her.
They're separate. They live in different states.
No, Tim, I'm talking about emotional separation. You see, subconsciously, Jill may feel that if she doesn't want what her mother gives her, she's being disloyal to the person who gave her life.
What? Why do women get so confused about this stuff? I lived in a family of all boys. We were very clear about our communication. If I wanted something my brother had, I'd knock him down and take it.
Well, that's very effective, but crude.
Right. I think I could help these two ladies out if I could just sit them down and tell them exactly what's going on.
No, Tim. Throughout history, many truths have passed from man to man, and the one truth that transcends all cultures is, when mother-in-law visits, man should stay in garage.
Oh, yeah, I got a lot of work to do in the hot rod. Might as well just close the door and start her up. I know.
So, interesting scene here with Wilson. Wilson got Mark a dream catcher, so he remembers the boy's birthday, which is a nice thing for him to do. Tim explains Nana's issues, or not, I guess Jill's issues with Nana. And Wilson goes on to say that the daughters, he's talking about a psychology book here, and we talk about how we like his advice a little bit more when it's like based in historical fact and not as much psychology, but this is very much like psychological. He says that daughters are constantly trying to separate from their mothers, and also that not accepting her gift would be a betrayal of the one who gave her birth or her life or whatever, which I don't know, seems a little crazy to me, but Tim still wants to help. He talks about how him and his brothers used to just clear everything up with violence, and that's not going to work with women. And Wilson's final advice really is to stay out of it and just hang out in the garage. So
yeah, it's not a real helpful advice,
just stay away.
Don't meddle. Yeah, I guess.
No. And the next scene, it's immediately not going to work because back inside, Nana has finished the cake. Jill is upstairs. And Lillian wants to talk to Tim about Jill because she can tell something's wrong. And Tim tries to avoid this situation. He runs into the garage to try to escape her, shuts the door. But Nana comes right in anyways. And she thinks she knows what the problem is. And it's intimacy problems that Tim and Jill are having.
Yeah, I mean, and at that point, like, Tim, if you're Tim, you can't have Nana thinking that, that you are unable to perform. So he kind of has to spill the beans right away. And he does.
Yeah. Nana paints him into a corner.
Do you blame Tim for spilling the beans here, kind of coming clean, or not?
No, I mean, the only way I think Tim's right a lot in this episode. The only way to kind of get over the issues here is just to communicate. Yeah. So he's trying to facilitate some sort of communication. Yeah. And like you said, he spills the truth about the clock and how Jill would want the clock over that. And no, I don't really think he's in the wrong here. Now I know where Mark gets it from, where he just spills the beans all the time. But that's essentially the scene.
He should maybe stop doing that. As an 8-year-old, Mark's going to have to grow up, and we'll be charting that growth.
Yeah, and Mark does not get a chance to do anything here. That would show
Mark's birthday is really
suspiciously he is absent from his birthday.
Presumably not for Mark. All right, so we get into the birthday party.
Yeah.
Did you recognize the young girl?
It's Judy the elf.
Judy from Santa Claus. Imagine that. I guess you can only assume that John Pasquin remembered her from this
memorable performance.
And said, "Hey, we got to cast her because this Santa Claus comes about a year after this." But we should set it up a little bit. So there's a big race car track where the table is, kind of. It's like a model of the Indy.
It's pretty cool.
It's cool, yeah. I don't know if it's something Tim built or if it's something they bought, but yeah, I don't know how big it is. Based on what we saw, probably, I don't know,
8 to 10 feet long.
8 feet long probably, and it's just where the table would be, and the kids are racing. Well, the kids aren't racing. Tim is racing this girl, and she keeps beating him.
Over and over again. He says best 5 out of 9.
Yeah, so it's been happening a while.
I can only assume that he lost 4 straight.
Yeah, and all the kids are just watching, and they're really into it. But in real life, the kids would be like, why is this dad...
I want to play.
Yeah, why does this dad get to play the whole time? When do we get a chance? But it's Tim and Judy from the Santa Claus just really going at it.
Quick scene,
yeah, it really is. So we
the last couple are pretty quick.
Yeah, it's because they spend all the time
the first 8 minutes introducing Nana.
On the titular Nana. So Jill goes outside to cook hot dogs
and hamburgers.
Gotta have.
It's going to be a nice barbecue for this birthday. If you're a kid and if Tim's not hogging the race car track, it's a pretty cool birthday, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's March, so they're outside, grilling, as one would in March.
Must be a hot year in Michigan.
Yeah, it was. I remember 93.
El Nino.
Yeah. So Nana goes out and helps Jill grill, help in quotes. She really goes out to confront her. So she says, I know Tim told me about the clock, and I know that you are upset. She tries to talk to Jill, and Jill kind of just says, we don't talk as a family. We never have, because when you were young, you told us not to get emotional. Nana says she doesn't remember that, so helpful. And they go in. We were a military family.
Had to be good little soldiers.
Good little soldiers for Dad, the colonel. as
the Colonel,
as everyone seems to call him.
It would have made it hard on the Colonel otherwise, so they had to buck up. And
that's so bogus. Like, if you're the Colonel and you're moving your daughters every year, maybe you should be a man and kind of try to face that, or at least try to acknowledge that it's difficult on your family. The Colonel's a coward.
Well, I mean, the Colonel can't really defend himself here, so I don't know. I don't want to make judgment on the Colonel yet, because he's a Colonel.
I don't think it's the daughter's responsibility to put on good faces like good little soldiers when they're like young girls. Like, if they feel bad about moving, then they can probably voice that. It's not these adolescent or young girls' responsibility to kind of like shelter the Colonel. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
if you want to take the
that.
Colonel's side on this, you go right ahead, but you are wrong.
It seems to be a thing though that I've heard from military families where like emotion is really taken out of a lot of things, and I think that's kind of an interesting stereotype. I guess.
Who are you talking to?
I've got friends in all places. Let's just say that.
Let's just say it. Go ahead, continue.
So, yeah, it was tough. Nana says it was tough, but they still had fun, right? And Nana goes on to say why she gave the tea set to Jill. And it's really this sweet memory where she would say that they were having tea and crumpets, and Jill didn't really know what crumpets were, and so she would say that they were having tea and puppets, and it's a memory that rings true for Nana, but Jill doesn't remember it. Jill just remembers all the bad things about childhood, apparently, and the clock. Those are the two things that she kind of focused in on. So
right, yeah. That really, it's the story of the tea, and the tea. And
once you throw puppets in there.
Yeah, it's over. And Jill is
that's how you break ice.
Jill says, "Oh, I was so cute," and really that serves as kind of them making up. And then Jill says that she wants both the clock and the tea set. That's
Jill, and then they say Jillian Patterson.
Yeah, I did. I noted that
chiding
as well.
her.
Yeah, Jillian Patterson.
So I guess named after General Patterson, maybe. Unless it's a family name.
I don't know of a General Patterson, so I'll take your word for it. But yeah,
I assume there is a General Patterson.
Oh, you don't actually know that there is one?
No, I know there's a General Patton.
Indeed, yeah.
But not a Patterson.
Yeah, I know that. I know that as well.
I'm Googling. No, the only thing that comes up is Robert Pattinson.
That's Jillian. Yeah, Jillian Cullen, Edward Pattinson, Taylor. Yeah. We head inside, and Tim still hasn't beat the young girl.
How many races do you think they've done at this point?
Presumably, it's been a long time. But don't worry. Tim has he's made some changes to the. Well, he blew the motor on the car, and he replaced it with the Dustbuster motor. Logistically, how does that work? I don't know. But they race the final time. The kids all leave as a group earlier in the scene, and then when they find out the Dustbuster motor's in there, they're head back. On over. We're back.
They were momentarily distracted. It's like when you're watching The Secret Life of Pets and they see a squirrel or something.
What is Sweet Life of Zach and Cody? Same kind of thing.
Yeah.
6
absolutely.
of one, half a dozen of the other. I just imagine one of these kids going home and being like, "Billy, how was the birthday party?" It was fine, except we didn't get to play with the toy because Mark's weird dad just wanted to beat this little girl in a race the whole time, and then he took apart the Dustbuster, and then he broke a window. It was weird. So, he puts the Dustbuster motor in there, and they race, and it really amps things up, and the car flies out the window and breaks the glass, and Nana and Jill both look through the hole. Well,
we get that.
Sounds raunchy, I suppose, but both look where the glass is broken.
We get that long-awaited accident that we thought was coming in the opening scene. So
yeah, and that is how the episode ends. Sans bloopers. Tim's being kind of a jerk in these bloopers.
Yeah, I think a producer or something says is basically coaching the kids and says you can cheer this time. Right. Cheer means you can make noise or something like that.
And Tim says working with children.
Yeah. So another good outtakes. I really wish they would.
And then she says, "Tim, don't be cocky." There
was maybe in the almost 2 full seasons we've had 1 or 2 good outtakes. I think.
I thought this was good. I did. You didn't think it? Did you watch it?
The outtakes?
Yeah, did you hear the producer say, "Tim, don't get cocky"?
Oh, I heard that part.
Yeah, that was good. That's funny.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Big hat. It's funny.
Hey, if Turd Ferguson showed up, that would have been a good episode right there.
And roll credits, fade to black. Much Ado About Nana. According to IMDb, this is the lamest correction ever. When Tim's car flies off the track, it crashes through the glass in the patio door. This would not be possible. All glass in doors has been safety glass for more than 30 years. The glass in his door broke like plate glass, which would not be in a door. Idiots. Cool. You really got the show. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Just wanted to share that. Jordan, highs and lows on Much Ado About Nana.
Whew. Highs and lows.
Start with the highs. Or lows.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess it was interesting to get some backstory on Jill. We've had some, but we got to hear more about the Colonel and her life growing up. And that was interesting. I thought that Nana was a welcome presence on the set. I think she was a firecracker. I think she was pretty funny. And I mean, like I said, it was a cool birthday party, but those poor kids didn't really get to participate very much in it. I don't know. I guess my other lows were Wilson's advice wasn't super helpful. I really liked that Judy the Elf was there. That was another high point for me. So I don't know, not a great episode, but something a little bit different, and so it was okay.
Really jumping around with those highs and lows. Highs. Nana, kind of a showstopper performance, I would say.
She stole it from the logo.
Polly Holiday comes in. Yeah, she did steal it from the logo.
She came in like a wrecking ball.
And she breaks the friggin' doors down, Jordan. I mean, like, drums, candy, weight loss, success. Nana, she runs the town tonight, I would say.
Who run it?
Yeah, for sure. So I did like Nana. I look forward to seeing her again. That was one high. Another high was, I mean, I liked the track of the cars was cool looking. And I guess I liked him in this episode. I don't know. He was like kind of funny, pretty logical, acted in a way that a person would act in real life, which I always appreciate out of Tim when he acts like an actual person would. That's cool.
That is helpful. That's a good point.
That's a good, yeah. Like he acted like I think I would act, or like he was just helpful. He wasn't like judgmental. He was trying to help things out. Yeah, it was a good grounded performance here.
Nothing's more logical than racing a little girl like 40 times.
I'm talking more with his wife, but fine, sure. Yeah, you had your chance to talk, okay? So if you want to come back in with lows later, you can go ahead. In terms of my lows, I just think Jill was like pretty annoying in this episode.
Sure.
She's pretty, as I noted earlier, pretty petulant. Seems to be really holding on to some things from her youth, resentment and such. So I would say time to grow up, Jill. So I think, but in reality, I think like just some of her behaviors in this were a little bit peculiar, but I suppose that's okay. Other lows, I don't know. I'm trying to think. What did I not like? Well, Mark's birthday. Mark doesn't really get any attention. You know?
Really, any of the boys don't really do much.
Yeah, like you said, I wasn't even sure I saw Mark at his own birthday party, so maybe he was like mad at his dad for stealing
all the lines
thunder.
at the birthday party went to Randy.
Well, that makes sense just from an acting perspective. He has the most talent. But yeah, Mark probably like ran upstairs because he was mad at his dad for not letting him race. Lows. Yeah, I mean, Al and the kids don't really get anything to do. Al doesn't get anything to do this whole season, as we've said, so nothing new there. But
he did catch a paint can.
Yeah,
what else do you want from him?
Right, yeah, that actually was cool. That was a high for me as well. No, I like this one. I think I liked it more than you did. It was just different enough for me to kind of be on board. Good to get the backstory. Good to get an interesting guest performance. Yeah, I enjoyed it. But yeah. Oh, hi! Obviously, the Colonel. You know, just talking about the Colonel. I wonder if we ever see him. Probably not.
I don't know, Colonel.
If you could cast the Colonel,
that was Texas Teacup Massacre.
I'm not done, Jordan. If you could cast the Colonel as one actor, who would you choose?
Well, I think someone who would be good would be the dad from Modern Family. What's his name?
Ed O'Neill.
Ed O'Neill, yeah.
As a
I think
colonel?
he'd be good.
I would choose. I don't know this guy's name. I'm looking it up right now. He is the guy in Rush Hour who is bald, and he says, like, I gotta find his name. He's like one of the FBI guys, and he like says like, you're gonna have to bleep this out, but he says like a lot. You know what I'm talking about? He's the bald guy.
Yeah, I think so.
I think his name is Rex Lynn. Look him up. He plays Agent Whitney. Yeah. He's from Texas. He's in Better Call Saul this season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's
With
what I would
that,
choose.
he has to have the mustache though.
Yeah, he would have to have a beard, but yeah, I like that guy. I think he would be a really good dad actor. Or Philip Baker Hall also would be very good.
I think you have a future in casting, maybe.
Yeah, probably. So that's this episode. What do you want to talk about now? Social media questions? Anything?
Yeah, I guess we can get into social media. So if you want to reach out to us, please do so at thehomeandpodcast.com. That's our website there. You can also support us. Remember, we're having a little fundraiser for the Jungle to Jungle episode that we released. So if you donate anything from $1 and up, we will send you that episode.
We'll feel free to send you the episode.
Yeah, otherwise I will not feel free to do it.
Gene Siskel calls it, well, Gene Siskel has passed away, but I heard word that he called it the best podcast of the year from the grave.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
Did you got a medium to get that done?
Yeah, I called the Long Island medium.
So if you want to reach out to us on social media, we're at Facebook, at facebook.com/HoenPodcast, and our Twitter handle is @HoenPodcast, where several polls go up. Really funny tweets by Adam Dietz. So feel free to follow us there as well.
Twitter this week. Which activity is the most appealing to you? 10 votes. 20% said Swan Lake Ballet. And then we have a two-way tie for first with courtside Piston tickets or side yard cigar and cookies. So hard to say which one. I would go with the Pistons tickets for sure.
Def.
We also got a message from, I believe it was Stacy Castle, who said, let me find it. Oh, okay, so at the end of last episode, I noted that I thought that Nana was from Boy Meets World, but Stacy says Nana is Jill's mom. Tim's mom is the lady who married Mr. Feeney on Boy Meets World, so partial credit. So yeah, I was on the right track there. Thank you, Stacy, for helping out. Stacy also one of our...
she's on the Wall of Fame.
She's a supporter of the show, so she definitely got that Jungle to Jungle episode and thought it was fire. So... presumably. We haven't heard anything from her, but presumably she thought it was fire. So yeah, if you...
We also got the Long Island medium to tell us what Stacey Castle thought of
Long
the
Island
Jungle
medium
2.
also looked into the future, and she said that we got... the Jungle to Jungle episode was very successful. It made Times Magazine's list of best podcasts of the year, and we got like $5,000 just on that episode alone.
So make it happen, guys.
Yeah. In addition to that, we have some merch, right, Jordan?
Yeah, I don't have a link to it on our site yet, but if you go to Redbubble and you type in Home and Podcast, redbubble.com, you will find stickers and shirts and sweatshirts. Not necessarily moderately priced, but high quality.
The stickers are moderately priced. I've tweeted about this as well. So, yeah, we have some stickers, which probably the most, fiscally responsible. But, yeah, I bought, or rather my girlfriend bought a few of the stickers because she is
She run this.
She's very supportive and sweet. So I have a couple of those that I can attribute or say confidently that they are very nice. They're of a high quality. So if you're a fan of the show, you want to buy something or support us in a way that is not going to break the bank. The stickers are, I think, anywhere between $3 and $8 depending on, or $2.60 to $8 depending on size. And they're nice, yeah. So you could stick them on your car, your laptop, your body. You can do whatever you want with the stickers, presumably. And the T-shirts and sweatshirts are a little bit more expensive, but we will eventually post this to our blog. But it'd be nice if you want a little bit of apparel, or you want to support us and get a part of that branded content, that we're doing. Maybe buy something. Jordan, question of the week time.
Question of the week time. I don't really have a good segue for this, but I do know that we both recently saw this movie. And this episode, I guess, deals heavily with family, and that's kind of what this movie deals with as well. So I want to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yeah, we did both see it. I told you this. I saw it opening night, 7 p.m., so about the earliest possible show that
you could not
see.
Wait to see it.
It's really strange. I'm not that big of a fan. I like the first one, but we really wanted to see a movie that night, so we went over there. Both saw it. I'll go first. I really enjoyed it. I liked the first one. I didn't remember how much I had liked it or how much I liked the story, but I really enjoyed Volume 2. It was a fun couple of hours. Obviously, big fan of Baby Groot. Obviously, big fan of Dave Bautista, who plays what's his name in the movie?
Drax.
Drax, yeah, great, very funny. I like the music. As far as the plot goes, I don't really care about the plot. It didn't make a ton of sense. I understood it, but I think that there are some leaps being made. But yeah, really good performances, fun, and oddly emotional at the end. I felt emotions that I didn't expect.
You felt things.
Yeah, and Kurt Russell was great. I like all of the actors and the performances in the movie. From top to bottom, and it gives you the feels. It's just fun. What do you think?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. One of my favorite I'm more into that stuff than you are, but definitely one of my favorite editions of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I thought the first one was better, but it still had a lot of good things. It had a lot of the music. Obviously, is really great, like usual.
The opening sequence where Baby
Groot's dancing around.
Yeah, I thought that was great. I thought that was a really just a cool way to start the movie. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was definitely something different. I did think they used Baby Groot maybe too much during the movie.
No, not enough.
Well, and I also thought it was a little strange. This movie was essentially about Peter Quill's, father issues.
Yeah,
and I felt like a lot of other people had more to do than him. I felt like they didn't explore it enough. They explored a lot about Rocket's character.
It was kind of half-baked. The whole stuff with it was kind of half-baked. But
you know who stole the show?
Who?
Yondu. He stole the show.
Who's Yondu?
He's the blue guy.
Yeah, Michael Rooker. Yeah, it is cool. Well, I guess maybe we shouldn't spoil it, but I don't care. It's cool because I think it's well written, despite the fact that the plot is just kind of all over the place. But I'm always impressed by the villain from the first one in this one effectively becomes a lead, a protagonist, a character you can root for. Kind of in the way Terminator does that with Arnold Schwarzenegger, T1 and T2. But it's always an impressive feat to pull off. So yeah, Yondu, Michael Rooker was very good. Just a lot of. It's a fun movie. I'm not into the comics. I'm not into the background, so I don't know anything about that. I don't really care about that. But yeah, likable performances, fun, funny, good music. I liked it better than the first one, actually.
Well, good. I'm glad we both enjoyed it. I guess that means we're gonna move on to next week, which will be covering X Marks the Spot.
Yeah. Presumably a girlfriend or boyfriend of the past is going to come in and shake things up.
Oh, yeah.
So, Jordan, thank you for joining me. Listeners, thank you for listening. And I guess I should say take care.
Take care, everybody.